Welcome everybody to MogTalk episode 124. Guys, this week we are talking about the Unending Coil for sure. If you don't know what MogTalk is, it's a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community where we discuss everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing to a world race where no one is clearing the fight after 5 days, which is what we got today. It's super exciting. I want to introduce all the guests we have here before we get too far into it. First, this is actually his first time coming on the show. He hasn't been on here before, but he is a wonderful friend of mine. I've met him once at the NA Fan Fest. He is the ambassador of Angered, is what he's called, I believe. Previous world first raider.
People call me.
That's what everybody. Okay. How you doing, dude?
Is everything okay? Yeah. Maybe a bit tired from raiding in this fight. It's kind of a hell, you know.
Yeah. Evie, real quick, for people who don't know you, is there anything that you would tell them so they could just stick something to you? So they're like, this is Evie.
Yeah, I'm one of the eldest member in Angered, and I've been raiding for Angered since Final Coil. So I might be one of the 2-3 eldest member in the FC. And right now I'm playing with Pandora's Box, which is the Italian group in Angered. You know, we have the Italian colony in Angered, and yeah, I've been raiding Arthars before in Midas and Gordius, etc.
You said Italian colony?
Wait, are you Wait, are you Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, wait. I got something to ask. You know, whenever I watch football, right, those sideline coaches will always like, hey! Is this really what I think it is? Is this like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about? This is like, what?
This isn't Italian. What are you talking about?
Hey, what the fuck? I thought that's what it meant.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Let me introduce Arthars now. Wonderful Arthars here. He is, he's been raiding. He's been doing a lot of Unending Coil. He's very, very attracted to cute girls. That's what he's known for, I think, the most out of everything else. Arthars, how you doing, buddy?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm really tired, actually. But look, I took a shower, ate some noodles. Yeah, ready to go, man. Ready to go. What's up, man? What's up, guys? What's up?
You were raiding actually before the stream started, weren't you?
Yeah.
How long were you raiding before this started?
They did 6 hours today, which I don't expect. I was like expecting like the normal 3 to 4 hours so that I can go to like sleep for another 3 to 4 before the show. But they decide to go a little bit more today. So kind of happy, but kind of tired, but not that tired. So I'm fine.
Okay.
I look fine.
All right. And last, one of my favorite friends who always comes on in my time of need every single time I have a show. Excellent at having a discussion here. Mr. Balana, who is on the council of Elysium. Wonderful guest. Wonderful beard. And probably professional world racer watcher.
I've been tuning into the streams. I had like 4 or 5 going on Tuesday morning, but unfortunately, I haven't actually zoned in yet. My team's been kind of slacking on that aspect. But you know, I'm pretty watched up on it. Pretty tuned into the scene.
Tuned in, yeah. That's what I've been doing, man. Like as soon as Tuesday hit, I was like, I'll sleep a little bit. There's no way they're clearing it in 4 hours, right? And so I wake up, I'm like, oh yeah, no one's cleared. I put up all these like videos of everything that was going on. I had 4 streams going on, going through all the Twitch chats and everything, checking Twitter, going frantic, and I did this for like the entirety of the day, and then nothing really happened. Like people were just like kind of slowly getting to like Bahamut, and I'm like, well, okay, Bahamut, they're probably close to beating it. And now like every like 5% of health of Bahamut, it's like a day of progression.
Yeah.
And here we are 5 days later.
Yeah, geez. Like now I'm kind of relaxing a little bit. I'm not even checking to see if anyone sent me an entry for the world race sheet because I'm like, oh, I'm probably going to find out on Twitter before anyone puts anything here. And it's going to come in really slow, I'm sure. I mean, I got Muni helping me out. I got Biggs helping me out with the world race tracker just to make sure that all my bases covered. Nothing.
Yeah, you had to get all those people for those flood of entries are going to come screaming in after the thing gets killed in 2 days, right?
I mean, it's going to go slow. I think the entries are going to go slow afterwards, right? They have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at this point, yeah, it's going to be a complete trickle. But
Yeah. I mean, I remember doing Creator, or not Creator. Well, I did Creator. Creator was kind of hectic and crazy, but like Deltascape was like bam, 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 bam. Nothing but clears, especially with the first one. Like I kept getting a clear. Like it would just take, oh, I logged in. Oh, I got a clear. Let me report it.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's get into this, guys. Thank you very much for coming on the show. You guys are all amazing people. That's why I have you coming on the show today. We actually kind of have an NA representative, an EU representative, and a JP representative today on the show to discuss everything for you. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them. If you say anything in the chat, we have Sky, who's actually monitoring the chat, and he's going to go in and take those comments, whether they're good points, whether they're funny. He'll be just kind of watching the chat and trying to highlight anything and put it here on the screen. If you have any questions, please send them into this document. I'm going to put it in chat right now for you, and we will go over it throughout the show, and around the end of the show will be when most of them get answered. But the first thing I want to talk about before we get too deep into the show, the very first thing is the difficulty of this fight, which we kind of hit a little bit here. Did you guys expect this at all? Like, I really want to know what you guys thought was going to happen.
No, I didn't at all. Like until now, as I said before many times, all the fights were lasting more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days because of the gear check. You didn't actually have the gear to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you remember A4, the last mortal revolution could just destroy you even with all the mitigation possible, right? This is not that. This is actually mechanics problems, and no one expected a fight to be so hard that every mechanics took like 1 day of progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think anyone expected that. Maybe someone, but like,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, general consensus the thinking was, oh, it'll be 2 to 3 days. Like that's what people are kind of budgeting their time for, and taking time off work or whatever. We'll give it 2 to 3 days, and that should be enough for clear. Yeah, that should be fine. And here we are 5 days later, and nobody's even seen Enrage yet, as far as I know.
Yeah. Which is insane. They've seen Enrage on Twinwania. They've seen Enrage on Nil.
Like a definitive, like this is the end of the fight. This is the end of the mechanics, because the mechanics just keep coming. And
Yeah, it
coming.
never end.
Go ahead.
It's like, and that's why the progression is taking so long this time, because you'll figure one thing out and then you move on to the next one, and so what is this new madness? How are we gonna deal with this? And then you wipe, you finally get another good push, you get to see another mechanic, and you come up with a plan for that, and you test that, and so it's gonna be a while, I think, before we get a clear.
That is the actual problem. Like until you reach the point you reached before, maybe you need 3, 4, 5, 6 tries, because wiping in earlier phases is really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like one moment of distraction can make you wipe the entire raid. That is the actual difficulty of this progression. Like reaching the last phase you got might be really long. You can wipe for 30 minutes in stuff that you already seen like 2 days before.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome in one part, but it's frustrating on another,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super crazy. Arthas, what do you think that was gonna happen when this got released? Did you think it was gonna be cleared in 1 day?
I mean, last week we talked about it, right?
Yeah, we did.
For me, obviously, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be like Angered or Elysium people or some Japanese FC or people who try the world first, right? No, I mean in general.
Yeah.
So my consensus of difficulty is always how long it takes, right? So we were talking about 5 to 7 days. Now today is the 5th day, and like the two of them just mentioned, right? So far, no one's here. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe you guys have insight of your own FC.
Everybody watch their faces. Watch Evie's face. Watch Pilar's face. See how they react to these questions.
I'm a poker face. Look at me.
Poker face? No. I
don't have anything to hide.
Like we don't know that yet, right? But I feel that I kind of want it to be 5 to 7, but just by going through what I experienced, just by looking at what I see on stream, again, we don't know what Angered and Elysium is up to right now. But just looking at what I see on stream, I'm actually surprised that not just enraged. I'm actually surprised that we don't even know where is the end. You know, some people told me before there was 4 phases. Some people told me there's 6. Some people told me that within Bahamut there is like many mechanics. So does the whole at this point, do we consider the whole Bahamut like phase 3 or like I wouldn't know, right? I mean, we wouldn't know, right? So some people went to ACT, some people spoilers. Some people went to ACT. I don't want to say the mob name. Obviously, I didn't want to know as well because I don't want to get spoiled as well. But someone told me that there is this certain mob at this phase with this amount of HP. I'm like, wow, shit! You're telling me that what I'm looking at on stream is not even near that what I thought it would be? Yeah, I'm like, wow, for the first time, I actually think that this one might actually last more than one lockout, you know. But when I say that, right, I'm actually looking at, you know, Abby face right now because, you know, okay, don't tell us the progression right now, right? But do you think that, you know, in between this show, you think, you know, maybe Angered can get a clear?
Do you think someone's gonna clear before the show's over?
During the show?
Possible? Is it possible?
It's possible. No, and you gotta be careful, man. Angered here likes to play tricks. I know this. Remember that time we were doing that race in, what was it, Creator? And you're like, we're gonna hold off on telling people we got this clear turn.
Yeah, I remember. That was great.
Yeah. I remember that, man.
Right, it's really exciting. I think that is really exciting. For one fight, it's really exciting. And like you know, your Gordius, like your Midas. Let's not talk about Creator and Delta Scale. Like your Midas and your Midas and your Gordius, right? We talk about, you know, we start off fresh, right? You know, some people get full metal gear. Some people go in, you know, want to start the race earlier with just previous rig gear. So gear difference and then skill difference, right? But this time everybody like at maximum gear, you know. And then with maximum gear, like they just mentioned, you know, no gear, you know, this time there's no such thing as being gear gated. We are already maximum already. And then to see the difficulty like this, I'm actually really surprised. Like the mechanic is something else. We've seen it before, but how they managed to revamp it and then bring them together. And then it's like, you know, yeah, like Yuki last week, you know, we were saying, you know, Yoshida said that there might be some randomness in it. We were like, yo, what happened if it's like 10 buster in a row? What happened if it's like 10 dive bomb, that type of RNG? But that type of RNG wouldn't work at all, right? Obviously, if you get 10 buster, if you can survive it, obviously easy, right? The boy is just standing there like a dummy. If it's 10 dive bomb, then you can't deplete it. Obviously, you're going to increase enrage. So we were wondering what type of randomness. And then after going through, of course, I never experienced fire enough, but experiencing what I experienced so far with our gear, I'm like, I don't want to say they overdid themselves, but I would like to say that
if you do, I'm going to talk shit to you.
They did a damn bloody good job.
Yeah, they said there was going to be randomness, but I don't think anybody predicted that it was going to be nail RP randomness on determining what mechanics are coming out next.
Yeah. It was it was kind of unexpected to see this stuff. Like a really, really difficult. I mean, that was the other challenge, right? They're like, oh, we're introducing the Unending Coil. Okay, well, it's going to be those fights. I've done those fights 1 trillion times. All right, that's going to be easy. All I got to do is figure out the mechanics and how they put them together. And now we're dealing with this.
And with the flatline gear, I think comparing it to Gordius or compare it to Midas isn't really that much of a fair comparison, because there's that, you know, oh, my team got these better drops or this happened, but everybody's coming in, you know, with the same kind of set of gear, of access to it. So in that way, it's really similar to Second Coil Savage when that came out. And just as a little bit of research before this, I pulled up the clear dates, at least for Lucrezia for then. So it released on July 8th, and T6 was killed that day. Went down right away. T7 took 8 days. T8 was 10 days after that. T9 was 14 days after that, because they went sequentially through it.
Right.
They might not have been going as hard as people are now, but that's the closest comparison I can come to, is a fight where people had, you know, max gear going into it, and there was a fight that still took 14 days to clear.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, this is the third time we're introducing Coil in a difficult situation.
Wait, but for Second Coil, you you might not be best in slot going into Savage though, because the drop rate, if I remember correctly, some of the drop rates are really random, really bad. You might not even be best in slot at the end of the whole raid cycle.
True, because there was no token mechanics.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I remember I never got the 10 clags from
Same.
Never.
Yeah.
I've never seen
the whole 6 months. I did not get. I think it was the final coin. The whole 6 months, I did not get the aiming bracelet. I was like,
well, the thing is, for accessories, that you were using I-90 crafted with pentamelded bite. So that was
for final coil they did.
For second coil as well.
Really?
Savage. Yeah, for the clears. The first clears, they need that extra HP.
Well, I don't remember it.
That is not possible because the second coil came out before the accessories came out.
Second coil Savage? I thought it had I-90.
Was played in 110, wasn't it?
Yeah. It came out 110, but there was I-90 crafted accessories then.
You're right.
Yeah, Evie, shut up. Oh man. Well, I mean, this has been a lot of fun.
It was a long time ago, you know.
Yeah, it was like what, 3-4 years ago now. I mean, it's
I had to go and look this stuff up like before it happened. I'm like, how exactly did it go for second coil? I'd like comb through Reddit threads from 3 years ago trying to get refreshed on things.
Yeah. All right, so let's start talking about this fight just a little bit, just to recap. Twintania is actually a very nice intro to the fight. It's a very nice intro because there's not a lot. Like it kind of makes sense, especially if you understand the mechanics before. But I mean, it's easy to mess up. Twisters, of course, kills people easily. All right.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job starting off on Twintania. It really doesn't feel like, again, I went in there one night and got the 23%. I mean, in Enrage, of course, and we have to do a lot of stuff to tighten up DPS and make sure that we get it all the way through. But it seems like it was kind of forgiving.
Forgiving depends on what you mean.
Well, someone can die and you can still kill it.
You can pass the DPS check with one death, maybe two. The thing is, you don't know what total DPS check is. So if it's actually total, maybe you have to kill Twintania in 2.5 minutes, you know.
Oh yeah,
true. That might be true. I mean?
Yeah. Like how it is right now is forgiven. It is.
Yeah.
You can have one or two that if your DPS is good enough, and you can still pass the DPS check.
But I feel like Yoshida was saying, right? If you cannot meet the DPS check for Twintania and you cannot even handle Twintania, you might as well, this is what he said. I thought initially it was really bold. If you cannot handle the DPS check for Twintania and you cannot get past Twintania, you might as well stop raiding Ultimate. I was like, really? Now after going through that though, I kind of agree a little bit. It's a very good intro. Of course, it's not like impossible, but think about it this way. Like Abby talked about it earlier. Now, a lot of people, right, in Discord, in Twitter, a lot of people keep saying that, it's not bad. Twintania is not bad. We went to park, first day, first lockout, we kind of get everything done, dude. Now, the thing is, Twintania is only the surface. When you get to phase 2, when you get to phase 3, we don't know whether there's phase 4, probably. Think about it. Twintania is 3 minutes. Darners is probably about 3-4 minutes. And then you roll and roll and roll, right? Think about it. How many Twintanias do you need to do? Right?
Well, Bahamut's turning out to be like multiple things. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you think about it. When you get to the 4th phase, right? Average, it will take you 12 minutes. 1 hour if you were perfect. 1 hour, you only get to do 4 attempts. Let's say when you get to phase 4. What happens if there's a phase 5? Like you're telling, like the best of the best players, 0 mistakes. Maximum 1 hour, they only get like 4 or 5 attempts. It's really difficult to progress. Now you talk about Twintania, of course, when you wipe early, you restart Twintania, right? No problem, right? But I think the moment you start going to Darners and then you start starting Bahamut, you start to really see the strain, which is, I think, one of the key reasons why maybe no one progressed more, at least on stream. I feel that it's really nicely spaced out. Now, Twintania being Twintania though, I think it's okay. Some people told me that you can actually see that once you go to Twintania, right, you can actually start filtering out a little bit of people that clear turn 4. You start to see that people who are not that good in DPS, but somehow managed to get carried or scrape through Delta Skip turn 4, right? You start to actually see people falling behind a little bit. And then mechanical awareness wise as well. So for Twintania, I think is pretty good. It's kind of perfect entry, I feel, for the fight.
Faustania.
Faustania, they made it.
It's like a kind of flying, fire-spitting, beachy Faust.
Yeah. Exactly, man. And it was fun though. It was fun to progress on that when I was doing it. My group of casual friends, it was fun to actually go in there and try it because you're active, like the entire time. You're active, right? Yeah. And so I'm glad that they brought that back in here, and I think that they did probably the best job that they could introing this fight. But it's so much more to go now. It's sad because even though if let's say I get past Twintania, in the end. Will I ever get past Nail? Will I ever get past... it's going to be a part... how far have you been able to get into Ultimate? How far can you get through mechanically? And that's going to be your judge of skill, right? Mm-hmm. How far can I get through Unending?
Like Warcraft, in Warcraft Raid, I beat that boss. I beat the other boss.
Mm-hmm. And on what level? Mythic? Or did you beat him on So we have this the tier system right now of how good of a player you are by just how far you can get within a fight, not actually clearing the fight. And I think it's actually kind of interesting to see that. Now, when Yoshida said that about, hey, if you can't clear Twintania, then you shouldn't even try this. That's obvious, right? You can't get past Twintania. You can't get to any other part of the fight. But I mean, I think he was talking about if you were struggling and you're constantly barely touching a DPS check every single time on Twintania, then you're not going to be prepared for the rest of the fight.
Or even mechanical awareness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, even my own group right now, right? There is a few members that I look at them. I mean, they only raid 2 hours prior to a day. But just by looking at Twintania, right? Immediately I can tell, some people are just not meant to do out. I mean, if you're a human being, if your brain can evolve, obviously in the next 2 months, 3 months, I'm pretty sure
eventually, yeah.
But I feel that my starting entry for me, I feel is important. Mm-hmm. How well you want to define you as a raider, right? Mm-hmm. Twintania. If you can see people struggle in Twintania, I really think that, like I said last week, pack your bag, pack your shit, maybe consider a career change or something. Maybe just stick to Savage.
Go back to Maple Story.
I really
Delta Escape clears.
Yeah. It took me less than 2 days doing Ultimate. Mm-hmm. Again though, this is the first time we have Ultimate. So obviously when I joined this static or when people join static, the consensus was Savage, right? We didn't know Delta Skip would be this easy. We didn't know Creator was this easy. But Ultimate is the first time we actually we clear Savage. Do you guys want to, maybe we can, the 8 of us can go together and try Ultimate, little happy friend holding hands. Yeah, sure, why not? When you go in Ultimate, 2 days, you immediately can tell the deal. Some people are just not meant. I'm so happy Yoshida.
Are you saying they're not men's or not meant?
Men. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm so happy that Yoshida created Savage and make Delta Skip so easy. Because seriously, some of you guys belong there. You are not meant for Ultimate.
It's not a bad thing. So all right. So let's talk about. I want to talk about this a little bit because I actually talked with a good friend of mine, Goka, a little bit about this, just a little bit. Although I'm not saying he said all this stuff, but this kind of brought up the conversation. It's like when you are going into this fight, like right now, groups are. It's not hard to clear Delta Escape. You don't need a really crazy group to clear Delta Escape. If you're doing that progression, you can go through there and hey, we're doing pretty good on progression with our group. We're not having any issue. You can play whatever job you want. You can do whatever you want to. It's easy to clear that stuff. But you go from that to here, and you're just like, holy crap. I mean,
I didn't know
my friends were not prepared.
Yeah, dude, I've been raiding with this guy for what, 1 year? This is the standard Twintania? Oh my god. And when I went to park, then Then I realized that, fuck, man, Park is progressing faster. As of this morning, right, I parked till dive bomb already in Darners, right? Then I'm like, this Park seems to be more motivated. This Park seems to be more prepared. When they go to Park, they actually stay, they actually focus. I feel that these people are more prepared. And then some of the savage raider that come into Ultimate, they're like, yeah, whatever, you know, maybe we wait for a few more strategy, wait for a few video. Saturday, don't feel like raiding on Saturday. And then when they play, you can feel that some of them are not really giving a damn, you know. Then you kind of like, then you start to see the difference. At least just for Twintani and Darners, I already start to see the difference. Not just in my static, not just in statics in general, like not just in streaks in general as well. Like even in parts, you start to see another layer forming right now already. And it's I mean, it's something I like it because I really think this content is really not meant for everybody.
No, clearly not. Clearly not.
When we met Yoshida in Germany at Gamescom, we actually had a little conversation with him, and he said this content we're making is just for you guys, just for the world first racer, for the hardcore progression and stuff. This is not meant for everyone, so we're making this for the 1%, for the top 1% people in the game. You know, what you're saying is exactly the point. Yeah, it's not meant to be done for everyone. Like, yeah, it's true.
And I mean, it needs to be in the game. We need this challenge.
Finally, finally, about time.
Yeah. And go ahead, Balana.
Well, the difficulty jump is very reminiscent of going from Final Coil to Gordius, where all these teams, you know, they're formed in Final Coil, they cleared that, they're doing great, and then they hit that A3 wall, and it just shattered so many teams. At least this seems a little bit more like an optional content because there's not really like, you know, the gear locked behind it or anything like that. So it's really, I think it's a good way to fit this sort of difficulty into the game.
I mean,
like you know, people. Sorry.
Go ahead, Arthars.
Like you know, a lot of people is saying that this might be the static breaker. I'm like, nah, you know.
Okay. I think it may be though. Like, here's the thing. Like, if you're with a group of people who are good, and some people are a little bit better, some people are a little bit less good, you know, they're going to be like, hey, I'm not making it with this group. And then the other group kind of falls apart a little bit, and then you're like, well, let's trade out and get the good people into the same group, and then they clear the content. So I think that this is going to damage statics. It is.
Really?
But
I don't think
hardcore statics. I don't think it's going to hit like normal statics as much. But hardcore statics,
it can affect statics that thinks they're good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not.
Hardcore statics,
some members at least. I mean, in Deltascape, in Creator, in Midas, you could like carry, let's say, for how much you can carry in this game. You could carry like not super brilliant members by having someone being better, but here you can't. Everyone needs to be exceptional.
Yeah.
Otherwise you won't progress.
And so we haven't tested statics like this before. Recently. Yeah. So go ahead, Evie. Sorry.
Been a while.
No, I'm sorry. I was done anyway.
Okay. Yeah, and so I mean, we haven't really gotten to that point to where you're hitting this fatigue, and they're just hitting Twintania, and then they're just wiping on Twintania almost every single time, and every once in a while they get the nail. They're not going to stay in that group anymore. They're going to go to the group that they think can get the nail more often, so they can get to that further progression, so they can think that they're, you know, a better player in general. And so.
Will they like just a bad like? I don't know, man. Like Savage gives you a lot of incentive, right? Savage doesn't require a lot from you, right? So, like, you know, the 8 of you forming this group, your initial, of course, this is the first time we finally get Ultimate. So prior to this, the objective was to clear Savage, right? So if you can clear Savage, but if you can't clear Ultimate, of course, some people in the static definitely wants more or perform better and wants to clear it, right? But let's just say if some of them don't clear, I mean, I said earlier, eventually I feel that it's just a very long progression. And as long as you keep banging your head on the keyboard at it, I feel that maybe if you are, you know, mid-core raider or something, maybe in 2 months, 3 months, I mean, we don't know how long the fight is yet. I would just take a wild guess, 2 months, you will still clear, right? But because there's no real incentive, so would you really just fuck this, man. The ultimate, I just realized that my static is shit. Although we can clear Savage, but we can't clear ultimate. But I know that eventually they will, but I don't want to wait for eventually. I want to like right now. And then you just like totally just leave or break the static. Would you really take that leap?
Well, the title is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Legend.
I mean, no, people want to do it because they want to be seen as a good player. It's not because they want gear. They want people to think, wow, this guy's good. Do you know how much money people will make on sales? All right, Evie, go ahead. Sorry.
This actually should be. I mean, you should play content to clear the content and say you clear the content. You should not aim to clear something to get the gear. What do you do with that gear? You show
but
it
eventually you will clear, right?
It's not even that great glamour, man. Sometimes it sucks in the glamour. Why would you even need that? Yeah, but no, I understand. It's just.
But will you just abandon right now? Like,
Well, the big thing though is that there's no lockout on this one. There's no lockout like the weekly Savage raids. So you could, in theory, if you want to, play with your normal group, is not doing that well. But if you have the extra time you want to put in, you could just jump in with somebody else, and it doesn't matter if you clear or not at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So that wouldn't really makes you have to decide and break static, right? Like, hey, you guys are only raiding 3 hours a day. It has been like that since Savage, but suddenly Ultimate comes in. We happen to need more time, but you guys can't put in more time. And I'm just gonna leave. I really don't think so, right? Because I agree, Balana. You can just maybe park, or maybe you can find your FC people during the other 22-hour minus your sleep time. You can still progress fairly. And if you progress well, as an individual, when you go back to your, say, a little bit, casual static, you provide knowledge, you help them clear. And if they don't, it's whatever, right? Because you still can clear with others, right? Will you really just,
So yes, I will say yeah. You know why? Because the people who are playing, they have this much amount of time to play every single time. And if they feel like they're not making progression with the set of time that they have, they're going to find a group with this in the set of time they have to make that progression. They're not going to all right, I'll raid with this group, then I have like 20 hours later, and I can raid with whoever else I can raid with. They're going to take the time that they can, and then they're going to apply it to where they think they're going to get the clear. That's what I think, at least. Sorry. But go ahead.
I mean, no, I agree. But that is just purely the context of Ultimate, though.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
I don't know. I just
it's for the next Ultimate too, right?
Maybe I just feel weird. Like,
I mean, you have 5 characters that you play at the same time in 10 groups, Arthars. I mean, it's a different situation.
Okay. Maybe I just think differently. I don't know. I mean, I would totally go park. Like Balana say, find potent people to do it. But I don't think I would just like, yo, guys, you guys suck. I can clear with these people. I'm gonna just disband. Like, just for out.
Yeah.
The next time for Savage, fuck you guys. Like,
they'll beat Savage in 10 minutes. I mean, we're gonna create players that beat Savage in seconds now. I mean, it's not even gonna be they're like, wow, there's like 20 seconds of downtime here. I'm just beating the boss. This is the most boring content in the world. When you have no seconds of downtime in Ultimate, you're just constantly like moving and avoiding stuff. And setting up for the next mechanic, because you got to be looking around the entire arena the entire time to make sure you're doing it correctly. So it's going to make us bored as hell with Savage. We're going to get so bored with Savage.
You're going to get spoiled on that Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to throw in here real quick is the point of, selling. Again, I said this earlier a little bit. The people that it's going to be really good players selling to good players. So they can get through the content. It's not going to be like I carry a crafter through the content. It's going to be like really good players carrying their friend that can kind of do a lot of the mechanics but can't get in a good group because they're not that great. And you have to res them a couple times, but you don't have to res them the entire time because it's going to be that tight. And that's going to be interesting. And of course, none of this will matter once our gear is like bumped up within the next year. But that's 3 months, right?
Yeah.
So
at least.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's really interesting to see how this stuff's going to develop because it's going to change a lot of the rating scene. I think this right here is affecting the rating scene, and it will continue to affect it and how we're going to proceed going into the next tier of content. So we talked a little bit about Twin. Let's hit nail a little bit here. Let's nail it on the head, okay? So nail. It's the content that the players who are progressing and are pretty good, that's where they're at. I mean, people were stuck on this for like a day. The good groups were stuck on this for a day or two. And now getting to Bahamut's like, all right, now we're getting into the serious progression. But you just have to get there, and Nail holds you back so much. And do you guys think that's kind of amazing? That you have like this whole tier of 3 minutes that like this is the level of player you have to be to clear this content. If you can't beat Fire and Ice, then get out. You can't have people just die and you're like, all right, well, we're just going to res real quick and recover. You may have just died in the absolute worst place you could. It could be anybody.
Your nail mechanic really, you can't die at certain, you just can't die at certain part. But the good news is, thanks to ACT, it kind of eliminate, I would say, 35% of the thinking already. Mainly, you only need to take care of fire. I mean, personal experience, right? You need to take care of fire, thunder, and the doom. But once you get the movement down, he's not that bad. But for me, right, the thing about Nail is the opening. When you first finish Twintania and you go into Nail, he just doesn't let you have any time to think about it. Like how you're gonna do your dance. He just splash shit on you and you just die.
Just shows up and starts stabbing your tank in the face over and over.
Yeah. But the moment if you can get past the very first set, then you start to know the fight. Then you can progress. But the thing is, for Nail, right? He's not like Twintania. Twintania can open Twister. You're like, yeah, okay. Nail is just like, you don't even know what the fuck hit you. You just suddenly die. You're like, huh? What? but once you get past that first step, it's a lot manageable. But that fight really tests a lot of players in terms of their awareness. You constantly have to look at something. If not for ACT, if not for people to figure out the chat bubble and the pattern, that could have been a lot worse.
This fight, Jesus Christ, ACT is like, people are going to go to it and swarm to it right now. I never used it. To be honest, like I haven't even used it within the last tier. I was like, oh, what's my DPS number? I just asked somebody, and I just called things out because it's like, this, I can do it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to use ACT for this fight. I'm not going to clear the fight, but I'm not going to use ACT. But it's
you know what's funny?
Huh?
The dialogue for the Nail when he says blah 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 blah, and then you know what mechanic, right? Do you know that the Japanese version is super easy to see compared to the English? English, you have to actually read segments of the sentence and then the next segment of the sentence, right? For JP, you need to look at two kanji, two keywords. Moon and something. It's super easy to identify the pattern in Japan, in Japanese chat bubble. So I'm wondering whether this is like considered unfair or not, But then I think about it, right? A lot of Japanese play.
I guess they know everyone uses ACT, so
yeah. Everyone uses it anyways. What's the point? Yeah.
It's Koji's trying to stick it to NA.
Yeah.
If you want to get kicked out of a link shell or free company, find those phrases and start spamming them in there, and that's a good way to get kicked out pretty quick.
Oh my god! Like, I don't know. Like, I'm probably gonna have to resort to it back again. Like this entire expansion, I haven't used ACT. I don't know. Yeah,
you have to. You can't be looking at like fire, thunder, then doom, then is it chariot or is it the other one or is it holy shit? No, you can't. Like,
and you did.
I'll figure it out.
Unless you implant like 2 eyes here and 1 here somewhere, and you can look at everything.
But that's the fun in it, man. Come on.
You can try.
I will. I mean, again, I'm not going to clear it.
Understand. Well, the thing is,
someone else will call it out for me. They have ACT, and they'll just call it out.
What I think is, when you're really used to the fight, when you've done it 1,000 times, you can check the dialogue. Like, but first times you get into it, even though it's really similar to T9 Savage with the fire in and fire out and thunder mechanics. When you get there the first time, you're like, why? Why did I die? Yeah. What happened? What I've done?
Yeah.
Then you go the second time and you say, now I know. Then the third time and it gets slower. You know what I mean? You know when you get the mechanic the first time and everything seems like so fast that you can't catch up. But then when you go 3, 4 times, 100 times, you're there. Okay, now it's easy. Now I can do it with my eyes closed, and you can check the dialogue.
Nah.
But you're gonna lose a lot of time for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. That's probably why we take so long a progression.
Something board first racers can't do.
Yeah. No, there's no way. I can't even imagine what it would be like trying to figure out these mechanics and not trying to get ACT in there to like pinpoint some of these things. Like when I go into content, there's strategies out there. I already have an idea what it's going to be like, but figuring out the content and trying to figure out how to do it without any kind of like, I don't know, way to just remind yourself, hey, you're looking around the screen, but hey, this mechanic's coming up in 2 seconds or it's happening right now. You know, that stuff gets you through to content. But I don't know. It's just deadly boss mods killed me. It destroyed me. When I went into World of Warcraft, deadly boss mods, it really got to that point to where I was like, I just can't stand it. This isn't fun.
Yeah, that's too much.
I'm a puppet.
I'm actually worried. Ultimate one day will become like that, you know. You know, ACT one day will become like the DVM and like that. Yeah, that would be too much. That would be too much.
Yeah.
I feel that for Neo, because it's a, you know, kind of, you know, we can say that he came from an old content, and during that time we don't really have a lot of VA voice acting, right? I feel that, you know, maybe in the future, right, if they, I mean, it's a good idea. I feel that it's a good idea that you actually be along the lines. But I feel that, you know, rather than making the play, because I can tell you, of course, we are PC players. If ACT is there and we know that triggers helps, people will use it. Now, I feel that I'm with Frosty. You don't really need it, but I feel that the advantage is there for you to not want to use it. Yeah. Now, I think what they can do is maybe, you know, they can use some voice acting.
Yeah, that would be it. That's how you kill the need for ACT. Get some real voice acting in there. But that costs a lot of money.
I think that would be more fair. Yeah.
Cut the voice acting from the main story quest, because I'm skipping it anyways, and put it in the content. I'd be okay with that.
Let's pay for voice actors and content that 1%.
Do a Kickstarter. Do a Kickstarter. SE, if you don't have the money, do a Kickstarter. I will fund you to do voice acting, or I will get the thousands of content creators within the community to come in here and help you out. I bet I could do it. All right. Get full to voice act some of these people. I'm sure it'll be great. But no, I mean, so here's the other thing, just on that whole ACT thing real quick. Like when I was using it before, I don't know, there's something about it. Like people would start saying, when I was in WoW and I was playing that, people would say, hey, you don't have Deadly's boss mods? Get out of raid. I don't care. You're a gimped player to me. Now ACT is going to be a forced requirement in order to clear Ultimate with a lot of groups. They're going to be like, hey, why'd you mess up on this mechanic? And it's like, do you not have ACT? And you're like, no, get out of our group. You're not serious enough.
Well, with WoW and Deadly Boss mods, they actually started designing bosses around assuming people had something like that. And the question is are they doing that in Final Fantasy now? Did they put that voice log?
That's what I said before.
There?
Like they know everyone uses ACT anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I guess they just kind of accepted it at this point. I don't know. It just
I PlayStation 4 players though, like
It's rip.
Yeah, they probably need like people to call it out for them. I mean, it will work, but
I mean, you can.
No, I agree. It will get. I'm afraid it will get to a point where it crossed the line. You know, like ACT for me started off as a passer. When I put triggers, it's mainly for fun, for laughs, right? But now, like, this is the first time I actually, this nail mechanic, these 6 patterns that he have, this is the first time I actually feel that this will really help me. This will eliminate a lot, especially with what is going on. This will actually eliminate. For the first time, I actually I better put this, put this up.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that next time it'll be too much as well.
Yeah, we'll see how it evolves. I mean, again, it's changing the raid scene, and before ACT was a lot more important, and this entire expansion it hasn't been important at all, except for FF logs. That's the reason why people use it. Or if you're doing the world race, right? That's always important. It's always a benefit there. But if you're casually raiding, you have one person in your group that has ACT, and they just get the DPS numbers for you, and that's literally all you really care for. But we'll see.
I think the chat is overreacting a bit. Like, I don't need ACT. I'm a player that don't use. No, don't get me wrong. Don't use it. You can clear. Don't get me wrong. But if you,
He just made
I
a
dare to
really,
say,
really condescending voice there towards the chat.
yeah. But I'm being really honest here, and I think that if any world first raider is watching MogTalk right now, probably they are raiding. But
Yeah,
I dare to
true.
say, if you are world first raider, and if this tool is there to help, and you know that everybody is gonna use, you're gonna use it. Trust me, those world first players don't need it. Trust me, they can just look at the dialogue. Don't get me wrong, they can do it. They can probably do faster than people in the chat that they say, I don't need ACD. They can probably do it 10 times faster than you. That doesn't mean that
It doesn't help.
It
helps.
That doesn't mean that it doesn't help. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can say that I can do it. Instead of taking 1 week, say I take 2 weeks to understand it. Don't get me wrong though, you don't use it. What I'm saying is, now that it's available and everybody will use it, go to that JP channel right now. They have it all called out as well. It's not their fault. Like, they know everybody is using. This helped me so much. Obviously, I'm using. World first player, if you jump on any of the Discord right now, all of them are using. It's not because you don't need it. It's why not? That's we are discussing here.
It's a race against time.
Exactly.
If you don't have anything that saves you time, you're gonna use it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
100%. It's simple. Like,
yeah. All right. So but in that fight in general, it seems like they're developing the most notable things of each fight, right? So like within Twintania, Twisters was one of the most notable thing. The orbs were really notable in it. And then when we get to Nail, you have the tower that's really notable in it. The dive bombs are notable, and the fire ice. Those were things that were like, wow, these were standout mechanics of these fights, and they're bringing them back into them. And so our nostalgia is hitting like this huge peak at this whole time. Mm-hmm. So not only are we getting hard content, we're dealing with positive nostalgia, good things that we remember in the past, and we're reliving it, and we're having like a great time. So Jesus Christ, they're like they hit it out of the ballpark because they know what we want. And it felt like they didn't know what we want for a long time, and we were getting really upset. But man,
they actually know.
They know. they have a good idea here, and hopefully this won't stop. Like, this is like they can't tone this down. They have to make it harder for the next one. They gotta keep it an upward. I don't care how difficult it is. I don't care if no one ever clears this fight. You do not make this fight easier. I don't care. How many people are doing it right now is what's important. And there's tons of people doing it because it's fun to do. If no one ever clears it, screw it.
I find
even if they don't clear, even if they don't do it, it's taking a lot of attention.
Yeah.
A lot of casuals are looking at the JP streams and the Elysium streams. Mm-hmm. They're curious. They want to see. They want to see how much hard it is, even if they don't even try. Yeah. I have a lot of friends watch our streams, even if they're not gonna even enter it.
Yeah,
they don't care.
Yeah. It's really exciting. It's really exciting.
Yes, and I believe that I'm giving like random numbers right now. I believe that at least 80% of the people here agrees that Coil was the best looking raid in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it was definitely the best.
This is actually bringing back Coil in a different key. Like, everyone is attracted by that.
Yeah.
This is a good thing.
And I mean,
one thing I noticed.
Go ahead.
One thing I noticed, even the NA community, like when I see people pug it, right? People actually stay. These people that actually join, although they might think that they might not clear, but they actually tries it. And I actually seen stream and I actually seen people actually stay 120 minutes just to wipe their face on Twintania. People actually stays, and not like your stupid bullshit Delta skip, 3 wipes and disband, 2 wipes and then just, oh man, my cat is on fire and leave the group. People actually, even NAs, they actually join group, they actually stay, they actually learn the fight, and then they actually want to try it again, So it's like, it's not always bad, Why is it so difficult? Can nerve it, but there's actually people out there that actually really enjoy it. So I'm really feel really good to see it.
I completely agree with that. The other statement I was going to follow up on here was what Evie was saying. Like, okay, let's talk about 5150 right now. All right, they are the most popular serious progression stream that's making it the furthest. Right. A lot of other teams are not streaming. They're further. We know they're further, but ahead of 5150.
I'm watching Evie's face right now.
Oh yeah. Very nice. But no, yeah, seriously. People are going in there and they're watching these streams. They're extremely popular. And it's visually entertaining because they don't understand what's being said. They hear little noises and they hear screams. They understand screams, right? But, I mean, that's a good point. People want to watch this raid. It's not something that's boring to look at. It's not something that people are like, oh, well, I've seen this 1,000 times. They're looking to see the next mechanic because they've never seen it before. And they're like, 5150 might show me the next mechanic that hasn't been out there yet. That hasn't been out on a stream. That hasn't been out on a video. I might actually see something here. And so people are excited about that. And they're jumping in there. They know, like, oh, I can't really talk to them. They talk in emotes. They talk in sub things. They talk in Jesus Christ. You guys, I haven't seen so many Naisus or Nanis in a chat before. It just becomes like this whole little memeing situation that's like, it's entertaining. It definitely is entertaining. And I think that I'm glad that they've had such a positive reaction to it. And I think that needs to... People who want to stream the content, who aren't going to get, like, who are like, oh yeah, well, I'm okay if I don't get world first. I'm just going to stream it, but I'm still going to play pretty hard. That's what we're dealing with 5150. But then we have teams like Angered, right? A lot of their teams are very serious, and they're like, hey, we need to do this. And they're going to probably get world first. And that, in the end, is the important thing for you guys, right, Evie?
For us, no.
No?
No.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, in Angered, we, of course, want to get world first every time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have this, like, for us, the most important part is relationship. Like, we don't care. Like,
that sounds like a lot of lovey-dovey stuff there.
No, trust me. What management always says us is, if you can get world first, of course we're happy. Of course, we aim for that. But this is not our first thing. We don't take you here to play for or with us to get world first. Like, they really care about the relationship inside Angered. We aim for world first, of course. Otherwise, we wouldn't be like in the list or anything. Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. So that's good. I mean, secretly, I'm always hoping that you guys are going to lose a little bit. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Not because I want you to lose. I just want someone to win. But I don't want you guys to stop trying. I want you to be going as hard as you can, and someone else is going as hard as they can. And then you're like, holy crap, this guy just won. There's more contenders out there. Because I think Elysium was dealing with that, right, Balana? Like, they were just winning and dominating the world first scene.
For back in Gordius and Midas, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of competition out there. Angered was still kind of building their way up, and
they were dealing with the EU ping too, right?
Yeah, the latency as well.
Yeah. And it was which fight was that? It was Nidhogg was a turning point. Was the first Heavensward Primal, the first fight that Elysium to get world first, and Angered took it in there. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the turning point right there. So, I mean, the top teams, they're not the top teams because, like, oh, we're going to get world first. We have decided we are getting world first. Those top teams are the top teams because they want to play their best. They want to increase their potential. They want to maximize their potential playing in the game. They want to be the best that they can be. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily saying, oh, we want to be world first. It's saying we want to do the best that we possibly can. And that's the kind of mentality and attitude that is what makes a world first raider.
I mean, this is actually how we got there. Like, when we started, back in the days, I remember when Kakashi started making the groups. He was actually a raider. He started with a small group of people doing Bahamut, and we got server second. I don't even remember in Final Coil.
Dude, I remember, man. I watched Kakashi streaming.
I wasn't there. I joined after.
Holy shit! Oh my god, he was so hard at the members. I'm like, guy is savage.
24/7, and he said, "I'm gonna try and get all the best players and be the best myself." And doing this and putting this state of mind in all the players, like, do your best. Always try and do everything you can. Brought us there. Mm-hmm. I'm 100% sure, and I 100% agree with what Balana says.
Okay, so going back a little bit to the 5150 part here, let's talk a little bit about the streaming part of it. Streaming is meaning, would you consider that not doing your best because you're kind of giving out the information, and so that's making it less of a challenge for you? How would streaming affect you guys? Would you be kind of a up to doing it in the future? Or is this like, no, this is just part of the race, we don't stream it?
We actually thought about streaming it, but I don't remember who it was, and he actually said like no, period. I don't remember who it was, but
you're just trying not to call him out. I gotcha.
There was like this. Some people saying we should stream, some people say we should not.
Mm-hmm.
But since you don't know how long it is gonna last, you don't know, like you're going blind into something. You don't know how much help you can give to other racers by streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't take the risk. I mean, they still want to get one.
Right.
Maybe one day, I don't know. I mean, this is not something I can answer to. I mean, I'm not management. I'm really close to management in Angered, but
you're ambassador.
This is not something I can say to you.
No, it's 100%.
I'm pretty sure that if you ask Rafter on Elia or anyone else, this answer can be
I'll ask him as soon as he clears.
Okay. Maybe 2018, like
2018, maybe.
This fight.
Yeah.
I would go as far to say, that's kind of a blanket statement, that if you're streaming, there's almost no way you're going to get world first, because there's some point you're going to have to sleep, and then people can go through your VODs, they can watch your stuff, they can learn, and that gives them a step up. The biggest parts of rating, the biggest kind of stopgaps, are learning the mechanics, learning how to deal with them. And if somebody can, just watch your stream and see what took you 12 hours to figure out, oh, that's how it works, they have a 12-hour jump on you there.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's imagine the scenario, okay? So you guys are up and you're raiding for 16 hours straight. You just get past a mechanic. You have a good plan for it. It makes sense. The team that was asleep while you were raiding wakes up, looks at your VOD, sees how you do it, and they don't have to spend as much time on that mechanic because they saw you do it. And so
this is actually what I said. Like, if you don't know how long it is going to last, you can. I mean, in Deltascape, they probably could have streamed and get world first anyways because they didn't.
Yeah. It was so quick. Yeah.
It would still help the others.
Yeah.
It would. Yeah.
And Kakashi here is in Twitch chat here saying, basically, I mean, you're also risking. Let's talk about the other factors. There could be connection issues because you're streaming. There could be the factor that you're being distracted by all the popularity from stream chat. You're like, oh, I gotta watch stream chat. I want to look over and see if they're saying anything. And then you laugh and you're, oh, I wiped on a twister. Then you lost a attempt. So
as well.
I mean, there's lots of things. There's reasons. If you're going really hardcore and you're going for the world race, streaming basically means, hey, we're probably not going to get world first. Mm-hmm. It is entertaining to watch. Absolutely. And I think if people aren't going for world first, but they just want to go hardcore, it's actually a pretty good idea probably to stream if you're up for it. I mean, we've seen the popularity of it. Final Fantasy XIV has never hit this amount of numbers before, where you're hitting like 4,000, 7,000, I think, is when the first day. We had 7,000 people watching, I think, Xeno's stream. That's insane. That's more than...
That is live ladder numbers.
Yeah, that's at the point to where you're saying that Final Fantasy never gets this number as a group. And this is probably 7 times the number it gets as a group for Final Fantasy XIV.
And you notice that now finally we actually start to see actually a JP group.
Yeah.
That not just is can I even say contesting? I mean, back to your point, right? I mean I understand Japanese. So when I watch their stream, like, you can tell that they are actually really relaxed, but at the same time they take it really seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But will that relaxation comes in, like Frosty say, eventually hurt world first? It might, but are they really going for it? I'm not sure. But just for the fact that, a JP group starts streaming, that you see the progression, you start to see a lot more JP coming to Twitch as well. They have their Nico, but now you start to see a lot of JP come to stream as well. Talk to them, come to my stream, talk to me. Do you see that guy? Do you see those JP? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that JP will stream. And then just when you thought that these JP, I mean, they are the only one up till like recently, the last 2 days, they are the one that you thought that they are the one head and shoulders ahead, and then suddenly today, one of the Chocobo kind of, back then we started with Parks, Kutu Atsu. I'm not sure whether you guys know him. So he today starts streaming, and then you realize that he's already on the third trio for Bahamut already. Then you start to see like even the JPs are coming in. The numbers are coming in. People are actually watching. The JPs are also coming to Twitch. So I think that getting world first, that's another issue, whether you stream. But I feel that, streaming progression does bring a lot of exposure to Twitch. Now, being said though, as much as we see, on paper, on stream, we see how much they get. I'm 100% sure the Angered and the Elysium people who are pushing forward is definitely further than them. I'm pretty damn sure.
Oh, Evie, can you tell us how far along your rafter in your group there is? Your rafter. your group one is? No, seriously. I mean, it's understood. I think it's absolutely understood that these groups are further ahead. And it's fine. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 right now has gained so much exposure by introducing content to 1% of the players.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, right? We're now watching the same thing. I can go play basketball with my friends, right? But I'm going to still watch a professional basketball team, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, and that's what it's turning into. We're starting to create these things to where we can say, hey, this content's so hard that we're going to bring people's interest in the basketball, and basketballs are going to start selling like crazy. You got LeBron James going out there, man. Basketballs are going the basketball guys aren't going to be like, oh, we got to make basketball easier for people so they can get into it. So, I don't know. I feel like this is definitely a great idea, and I'm glad that Twitch is out there to kind of help support the game because of it. So
Yeah, same.
But people shouldn't.
I'm really surprised and happy to see like even the JPs are coming,
which is good because apparently Nico sucks, right?
I mean, they don't have any incentive in Nico, like near zero incentive. It's just for you to stream for fun. You don't really earn anything.
Yeah. So, but I mean, God, I lost my point. God damn it, Arthas. What was I was saying something? Oh, okay. So but that being said, people shouldn't assume people have to stream for them if they're hardcore raiders. There's a reason for not doing it, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So don't go over there and cry and bang on a wall and say, they don't stream. They should stream. This is stupid. You guys got to do it or you're dumb. No,
no, it's not. Yeah.
Come on, guys. I've been watching the World Race for a while. Now it feels like a while, and it makes 100% sense. So. Okay, so I'm going to just ask a question really quick here, since we're probably going to hit Bahamut here in a second, and the question kind of refers to Bahamut. This is from Kira. Do you fear Bahamut progress kill will make Savage look more easy than it is in the future and reduce your fun only with Savage content? Yes, I think we actually hit that.
Yeah.
100% Savage is going to look dumb to most players after this. But they are ramping up the difficulty, right? They said each tier is going to be a little bit harder. So maybe we'll get something that we're like, hey, this is kind of relaxing and challenging for a couple of days. And then for the rest of the player base, they'll do it for a couple of months, and it'll be great.
Yeah, they're going to do exactly the opposite that happened in Alexander. Alexander started with Gordias, which was really hard. Then Midas, which was actually in between. The best. And Creator, that was pretty easy. And they're going to do the opposite, the other way around.
Go ahead, Evie.
Think about it this way. Your best in slot. You go ahead. Your best in slot gear is finally going to be useful. You finally have a use. Hey, I got best in slot, FF logs. Now you actually have, I'm going to get ready for ultimate, So, hey, at least it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it totally is going to look dumb, I feel. But more meaning to the Savage, I feel. Yeah.
Because before you get your best, so then I guess I'll throw it away for this crafted gear. Cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, the gear again isn't that much of an incentive from this fight, since you get the one materia, which some people kind of argued, you should give something a little bit more, but it's going to get replaced in 3 months anyways. What's the point?
Exactly.
Get a 350 crafted weapon, and just chuck that shiny thing somewhere.
Yeah.
Save it for glamour.
That's exactly what it is. And some people don't like all the gold. I kind of like the gold. I kind of like the fireworks on the weapons.
Get the bling.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Some of it looks good. Some of it looks kind of meh. But some of it looks fucking amazing. And I like the Bard boat is pretty
exaggerated, you know.
Yeah. I want it to be exaggerated. I want to be an orb. I don't want to be like a person anymore. I want the glow to be so ridiculous. I'm just an orb walking around.
Just go get your ARR relic, and those have enough glow that you just kind of blind everything around you.
That's true. Okay, so let's talk about Bahamut a little bit. Bahamut has been an absolutely fantastic. Like every time I see Bahamut get on a stream, I'm like, holy crap! Here we go. Here comes the real progression. We got to that point because we haven't really seen much past Bahamut. We just know that like every 10% they throw in this almost impossible to do mechanic, right? And Jesus Christ, man, that's been so much fun to watch. 8 towers, guys? 8 towers? Really? That's insane. You have to have 8 people that know how to go to a tower?
Exactly. That is the part you start to think, right?
I mean, it's not only 8 towers.
It's not just the tower.
Yeah, I know.
It's dive bomb into Twister, into Mega Flare, into Heaven's Fall, into the towers.
Really, man, this is initially I didn't watch much stream because I want to experience it myself. So even eventually I get to the point and I say, okay, maybe I can just take a peek. And then the first time I see it, I'm like, no, I think no. This static member, no. I need a plan B already. I'm like,
Oh my god, it was absolutely amazing to see that when that meteor. The transition's beautiful, by the way. That's absolutely beautiful. Like all of a sudden, a giant meteor just hits the middle of the arena and just like kills everybody, unless you know what you're doing and you're throwing your tank limit break 3. Yeah. I think like what happened is, can you get a second LB3 after you use your tank limit break 3 from just the damage that goes out from that?
It's not an entire LB3. You get a lot from the damage you get, but it's not an entire LB3. It's way less. I think it's 2. I think it's an LB3.
And healers were complaining back in Delta's Cape and 04S. They were complaining, oh man, damage is hard going out there.
Yo, look, at least this one, if you die, you die, you know? You don't have to really, if you make a mistake, you're dead. Don't have to cure you,
Yeah, just with Twisters. You got to res a lot though, right? Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, it's pretty amazing seeing them introduce Bahamut. And then like throughout the fight, they this is the weird part, right? They constantly introduce Twintania and Nail throughout the fight. So, I mean, it kind of makes you think, oh, well, are we kind of at that end point because they're throwing everything at us right now? Or is there another point to it? And if you guys are afraid of spoilers, you're in the wrong place right now. Then they're like, oh, we data mined, okay, hold on. Guys, mute if you need to. We data mined a Phoenix, right? And so, Phoenix is going to show up at some point. I haven't seen a picture of Phoenix yet, though, so I don't really know. Yeah.
Well, they get added to the ACT combatants at the start of Bahamut, and they have the same HP as Nail and Twintanya do. Mm-hmm. So if you're going off of that, if you have to kill all those HP and you don't get any sort of crazy buffs or anything, and we're looking at the same, 30k DPS is expected to be the average throughout the whole thing, it's a 20-minute fight.
Yeah. I really feel that it's an 18 to 20 minutes fight because Yoshida keeps reiterate and say that it's long. But I look at those JPs do it. I look at Elysium do it. I see Xeno get there a few times as well. I'm like, so far it's only been like 9, 10 minutes, 11, 12 minutes. Seems like there's still a chunk because up till now the fights we face is 12-ish, 12 and a half, right? Yoshida says that it's going to be a long fight. It cannot be 13, right? That wouldn't be... He wouldn't have to come out and say that, right? It makes me feel that there's another chunk in there, And then I'm looking at what I'm looking, and then I was like, okay, so what's going to come next, And then I'm really afraid that we might see something anticlimactic like Shinryu. Oh my God, we get to the 15 minutes mark, and then Bahamut just dropped there and it become a dummy fight. Then we were like, Bahamut starts speeding, and then you just beat him down. I'm afraid of that. because we've seen so much already. But part of me says that seems like there's more, but I don't know how you can do more. I'm really curious. It's really exciting, and I'm really, really, really curious.
Yeah. All right. So again, everybody, real quick, look over to the right-hand side of the screen while we're having these conversations. Look at the facial features and everything of what they're doing while we're talking about this guy. Evie's trying to put on his poker face.
Poker face right now.
Yeah, but no, seriously, we're not going to give out that much information. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, and the race isn't over. This is the first time I've had a MogTalk where the race wasn't over by the time that it was time to have MogTalk. So it's actually kind of interesting to see how this is playing out. And we will go over all this stuff in detail in a future show, I'm sure.
3 months down the line when it's actually killed.
Yeah, 3 months down the line. You know, I'm kind of expecting and I'm hoping, like, you get to the point you're like, man, this feels like really solid. This is the end. We're hitting it. Then all of a sudden just everything comes back. And you're just like, oh, well, we just got to redo the fight again. Or, you know what? They just say, screw it. We're going to put every single coil boss in there one at a time. Here you go.
You can boss rush.
Yeah, boss rush it. And you got like 30 seconds to kill every single one. And it's not like hard. It's just like, what do you call it? When you hit a home run and you're just kind of running around the field, you're just like, oh, this is the quick run real quick. We already won. We're just doing this stuff that you can still mess up on it, but that's stuff that isn't that difficult.
Victory lap?
Yeah, victory lap. There you go. I guess that's the best way to call it. I hope that's there. That would be amazing. I don't know if they would have put that. Like, it already seems like they put way more work than I expected them to put into this fight. Like, I was always afraid, like, oh, they just don't have people to make this kind of content. But
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of art assets that really went into it. It's mostly just all programming. They recycled most of the art they had from before. So I think they could crank out kind of, recycled content like this pretty easily.
Which is what we talked about on previous shows before, is like the easiest way to satisfy the hardcore raiding community is use the assets you have and just rank up or just change how the fight works, which is kind of what they did with this. Make HP levels harder, I don't know, make them hit harder, do things that could kind of just make it work with what our current gear set and level is right now, and then you don't have to spend as much money on animation.
Yeah, still waiting on Xeno's Titan Ultimate. Should be coming up soon.
Yeah. That whole episode of an hour of Xeno talking about super Blood of the Dragon, Savage, Titan, Beast mode thing. Yeah. Oh, that was such a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was like 74 episodes ago. Like a year and a half ago, man. All right, so overall, though, I mean, we're not going to go much into Bahamut because there is a lot of stuff in there with spoilers and everything. But I think that it feels like a good third tier so far. This, like, you're going through the fight, you're like, hey, I am up to Bahamut. You could say what kind of player that is because they're working on Bahamut and down the line. So I feel like the ramping up of difficulty is perfect. And I'm going to ask this question because this is something that is extremely relevant to what I wanted to talk about anyways. And I feel like we need to hit it. Hold on. Let's see. This is from Kamaya, I think. How quick do you think the fight would have been cleared if the checkpoint system existed, or if the checkpoint system is a good idea for future instances?
You might not make it into a turn, if that's the
Would
case.
have been done already.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Maybe even the second or the first day. Like what we said before, Twintania and Nile can still wipe you even though you did it 1,000 times. So with the checkpoint system, this would have been way easier because you can start from Bahamut and try it and try it and try it.
Yeah. It would be stupid if they introduced a checkpoint system for this fight. I am so horribly against any checkpoint system being in Savage content because why would you try to make this easier? We want something difficult. Okay, let's throw something in there that makes your life a little bit easier with this. I mean, okay, I can see, let's do cooldown resets. That was the proper move. That needed to be done. That was something that had to be done. Now it's taking we're doing content. We're not just sitting there waiting on cooldowns. That's perfectly fine. Having to do the content constantly and not get that break in between is perfect. I'd rather be doing content.
That would be the biggest nerf they could do. Huge.
And there were people complaining about it. They're like, hey, you need to put checkpoints in this fight. And all I can tell him is get good, dude. You're not good enough for this content. I'm not good enough for the content, but apparently you aren't either, dude. What are you like talking about? I could never see it. So do you guys kind of agree with that? No checkpoints for his fight ever?
No.
Definitely.
Yeah, the thing is, people look at this like 3 bosses, 4 bosses. You have to look this in another way. Twintania is phase 1.
Yep.
Nell is phase 2. Bahamut is phase 3, and who knows what's phase 4 and maybe 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have checkpoint at the beginning of Bahamut, and then you start the phase 2. So you have to look at this in this way. This is phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is not fight 1, then fight 2, then fight 3. You know what I mean?
Like if you wanna put checkpoint, like I say, you might as well ramp up their HP and make them 5 turns, you know. But if like I feel that, you know, giving them just how much HP, 5 million, you know, 3-minute fight and rage, it's all okay. Look at it like your turn 6. Mm-hmm. You know, your Vortexer, your Swindler, your Brawler, your Blaster. Look at it like that. That would be acceptable, right? Now, think about it. If there were checkpoint system for those 4 robots, people would have cleared, Midas a lot earlier already, barring that bug of right? You know, think about it. Now, I thought that was a masterpiece, right? One of the very few, if not the only fight that we actually see, you know, 4 mini bosses, 3 minutes each. Now, Twintania comes in. Of course, Twintania throw a lot more at you, makes you feel that, can I get done with it and not do this anymore? But if you were to dissect it, right, you know, like just at one phase, like every stage, just like one phase, 3 minutes, a lot of mechanics, it's not that bad. I'm going to be honest with you, even in Deltascape, right, I felt that for X-Dev to just be out of the picture and then you keep restarting Neo, I really thought that was already kind of, you know, I already feel that it's like, why, you know, why can't you make it seamless? What I couldn't get it, but I hope that they don't do a checkpoint, because for X-Dev I feel that was the need.
Like it destroys the entire sense of the fight. Making checkpoint, this would not be ultimate anymore. It would be just like a harder, savage, not even.
It'd be boring content. I don't know. I just couldn't. I've already done this before. Why would I need an easier version or a normal version of going through it? I want a hard version of this content. And if they put those little checkpoints in there, then that's just them giving into the dirty, hardcore, casual players. I call them. You know what? That's what I'm going to call them, the casual cores. The people who out there are like, oh, I want hard content. Then they start complaining the day after it's released because they're like, oh, it's so hard.
Yeah, now there's a new now because of Ultimate, there's a shift in the tiers now, you know. Definitely. I don't expect it to be. It's hard. It makes me think about, am I gonna clear? But at the same time, it's really exciting. Makes me think. I really do not expect that they can come up with, you know, when they say it, we all know that Yoshida says something, but it ends up usually super underwhelming, right? But this time, this time they shows me that they can do it, you know,
they actually delivered, and a lot of people's faith are being restored in Square Enix just because of this one fight right here.
And so the other thing here is like, I don't know, I'm doing everything I can, and you guys might have noticed this.
My God.
I don't want to see anyone doing anything that would try to lead to a nerf in any way to this fight. I know it's coming. I know people are I know there's a thought in some Square Enix executive somewhere is thinking, should we nerf this fight? Should we make this a little bit easier? And I know there's people in the community who are on the official forums that are complaining about the difficulty in some way. Then they're going to look at the numbers. They're like, there's only a couple people clearing this fight. And then they might just nerf it or something, and I'm just gonna
don't do it.
I'm gonna do things that I don't want to say on the stream.
However, though, like he did say something about adjusting it, but he's saying something like, they expect the world first to take about 1 week. That's what they say, and we were all laughing back there. Come on, how can it be 1 week? It's impossible. So when we were thinking it's impossible, that means that there wouldn't be a nerf, right? Because they expect 1 week. But they said that somehow if this drags for 2 weeks, and then if the world first come in for 2 weeks, after that, they will monitor the follow-up. How many more people can keep out? How many more people can actually clear? And then they are thinking about after all this information comes in, then they might adjust the fight so that it may reach a certain percent that they want to clear. But of course, I don't think they want to nerf it to the point and say, okay, we wanted 5%. 5%. I think that is also a little bit too much, right? Maybe they want 1%. Let's just say Angered, Elysium, and someone else clear. That only makes up, say, 0.3%. Maybe they will adjust a little bit. I don't think that they will make it like the Savage we've seen before, For example, turn 6, from very difficult to suddenly just became too easy. I don't think they will nerf it like that.
I'll tell you something though. Remember that in 3 months, maybe 4 or 5, we all gonna be 20 more island levels.
Yeah. So... Exactly. And so I wanted to point that out there. There's two natural nerfs. There's two just natural occurring nerfs. Exactly. One, the first one you're gonna get is guides. You guys are going to know how to do this fight without doing it. People are going to tell you the best way to do it. People are going to develop the Xeno strategy, the Angered strategy, the Goka strategy. They're going to have these strategies on hand, right? And so they're going to be there. And so that's your first nerf. You don't have to learn the mechanics, you just have to perform. The second nerf is going to be gear. And that's just going to happen. Yeah. These are things that just happen because that's part of the game. And so getting in there, and I hope they don't put Echo on this fight. I really hope they don't put Echo on this fight. But it might happen too, right? That's not something that haven't seen before. And so the point is...
But by the time, if we are talking beyond 4.2, then it doesn't matter anymore already. Like, for me, right? I just think that if this content is meant for this cycle, then you should not nerf it to the point that, if you're going to nerf it right now, I mean, not right now, like 2 weeks later, if you're going to nerf it to the point that people is going to clear in 4.2 anyway, then you might as well don't nerf it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to adjust it so that maybe a little bit more people can clear within this patch cycle, but after that, do whatever the fuck you want, like second coil, that's okay. But I think they will adjust. They said already. I think they will adjust unless maybe Angered or someone else cleared today. That would
not
be
today.
Lesser than their expectation. I mean, that would be, below
that 1 week. I think that Yoshida said 1 week.
Yeah, he said 1 week for Wolfen. So if let's just say Angered cleared today, I don't think there will be any nerf. But let's just say if Angered or someone else cleared 2 weeks, they might adjust a little bit. But I don't think it will be an adjustment where, you wake up your grandma, go Steam, buy a copy of Final Fantasy 14, get 7 of her friends, sit down in store, get level 70 and declare. I don't think it will be that easy. I just think that, instead of 0.3%, maybe 1%. I don't think it will be like Savage, 5%, and then nerf to 20%.
It devalues the content. It devalues the content to nerf it. Because, the people who went through and did all the hard work to clear it, now they're like, well, we're never going to experience that fight again. We're never going to have it. They took that fight out of the game, and now we have a weaker fight. And that's what kills me. I can understand them fixing bugs. Like, if something like Nissi happened, they should fix something like that, right? If something like that...
don't even joke about it. That Nissi is going to come in at the next Ultimate, and 8-man Nissi, man. It's going to come back, man. That shit is going to come back.
I was kind of hoping they would put pre-nerf twisters into this fight. In the 2.0 version of Twintania.
For everyone, what's pre-nerf twisters?
Basically, a big part of it was that server updates when your positioning was a little bit different. And the big thing about twisters is they would explode if you're on top of it, and then they would also explode if you went too far away from it. So there's only a certain distance you could stay within it. So people were doing, I think the strategy that Blue Garter used for the first clear
running in circles
was a like C-step. For handling that, but it was still just random crapshoot if it would work or not because of the server update problems. But then once I got patched with leading into, I think it was either right before 2.1 or around there, like so many people cleared as soon as they changed twisters to how they work now.
Yeah. I mean, that anything that's weird. So the other thing I noticed is like when I did it with Twintania, sometimes the fire blasts don't go to the furthest person. They sometimes go a little bit closer. Is that right? Or am I
You
wrong?
mean the Liquidel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two patterns. No, one pattern. The very last one is random. Like you can't 100% bait it whatever you want. So it might be on a off tank or a melee.
So that's not really a bug.
The RNG part of Twin.
Okay. Yeah. So if there's no bug to it, then there's no reason to fix it. If that's an intended difference.
No, it's not a bug. It's not a bug.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that is how is it supposed to be, like to add some RNG. They said that would have been like some RNG in the fight, so I'm pretty sure that's like supposed to be.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think we talked about the nerfing enough here. I've said my part. You guys, hopefully you all agree here. If anyone ever says, "Hey, nerf this fight," just tell them to get good, dude. I mean, that's
No, trust me. Those people that ask for nerf, right? Like I said earlier, I think they will adjust, but they are not going to adjust to the point that these people ask for nerf is going to clear. Trust me. I don't think they will.
No. That's true. That's true.
It's not going to be that level.
If anyone in the
think
chat
that-
is asking for a nerf, please ban. Ban.
yeah. My mods in the channel look for those comments and make sure they get banned.
Good job. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
And show us names so we put it like on live.
We'll create a list, a blacklist, and we'll just share it with all the streamers who are streaming the content. No, okay. So, Evie, the other thing is, you're a defender of nerfs. Tell Angered they have to clear it by Monday.
By Monday.
By Monday, make sure you tell them that. Same thing with you, Balana. Tell your teams they got till Monday.
I'll get them right on it.
Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure they know already.
Oh my god. We'll see how it works out. I've never been this excited for content, and I mean we could spend like 20 hours talking on this, but we won't. I'll hold off a little bit here. Let's go to this next topic point that I kind of want to hit a good bit here. It's kind of just a random offshoot of something that I noticed with the 5150 team. They have a website called FF14 or FF14 Tools, right?
Yeah.
And then you do all your raid leading, and you do kind of all your like, hey, here's the arena, this is your position, and you have everyone looking at the same time. Evie, Balana, do you guys utilize something like that?
I mean, like a shared whiteboard program has been a pretty common thing. I didn't know of the existence of that specific Final Fantasy one that they use until I saw it on their stream. But that's a pretty standard thing to use, like a little
Guys like
communal
watch
drawing
together,
board.
you know?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
Tools is pretty common.
That's weird. I've never seen like one dedicated for Final Fantasy. Like
Yeah,
Yeah. Just like see a whiteboard, but for Final Fantasy one,
yeah, and so that was interesting that now we need an American version of that website.
I mean, you can Google Translate it. It works all right.
Does it? Yeah, it's like you get an A marker and a B marker, a C marker, all that good
Little
stuff.
job icons you can move around. It's cute.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's just some random thing. The other thing that I noticed with the stream is that they have an Amity list with numbers on it to see how high in Amity you are. Have you guys ever used that before?
No, not personally.
That's kind of weird. It's interesting that there's so many developments in like the software and programs and third-party programs that JP side's using that I've never even thought of. That
no, they have some plugins for ACT. Like it's still ACT. I mean not all. Again, I didn't really see all these numbers you're talking about, but I do know that before, right? Like even back in Alexander already, they themselves have some additional ACT plugins already. It's just that
I'm an ACT noob. Is that what it is? I'm an ACT noob, and I just don't know this stuff. Okay.
Yeah, like okay, I'm not sure whether you guys use this. Do you guys have ACT plugin for Hans? Like you guys would know exactly where a Han mod pop just by ACT on.
The what?
Yes, no, right? Okay, you okay for Hans, right? NA users like what? Back in the days, NA users like what? Guild work, right? Things like that, right? People will, you will be alert where the hunts spawn.
Oh, hunts, yeah.
Right. Do you guys know that in ACT there is as well? Very early, like since last year or 2 years ago, they already have it because the JP uses it first, and then I was like, why? Wait, what? You know, NA were using guild work, and then JP
I remember there was something related to guild work.
Yeah,
but
so
I honestly never did on in my life. I never cared.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just that this is what I mean. Like JP have ACT plugins that the NA doesn't seems to use or have until of course eventually maybe popularity comes in. You know, people start using.
Yeah,
but they themselves actually have a set of their own plugin as well. That's why maybe on the stream sometimes you see some that we don't use.
For example, the anime girl voice.
Oh, I use that.
yeah, that is
everyone used that at least once, I think.
Yeah, that is a JP plugin. That's what I mean. You know, they have their secret stash of plugins that we do not know.
Yeah.
Some are, yeah.
that picked up real quick.
But there is something fun about the anime girl. I remember when I was in Vegas when we met. I was in San Diego with a friend, and I was actually playing Final Fantasy on his PC. And I had this trigger for Thundercloud on Black Mage, and it was with a Japanese voice. And I was raiding when he was sleeping, and every time I proc the Thundercloud, the voice would like, Thundercloud, Thundercloud, Thundercloud. Can you fucking stop it, Amy? No, you don't need it. It was so fucking cute to listen to that I wanted to keep it. I had all the fucking triggers in the world because I wanted.
It doesn't matter if it was something that was super easy, you had 30 seconds to prepare for, you knew it was coming up, you just wanted to hear a cute anime voice.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's funny, and I hope that we start to develop a little, in terms of like the serious stuff that they're using, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of it. Again, like it wasn't really needed. This stuff wasn't needed at all, and so now that they're starting to become needed for this stuff, ACT is going to ramp up, and we're going to see some crazy stuff, and we're going to see like probably another website based around FF Tools that's Americanized, I guess, or has a lot of English everywhere, and you don't use auto translate for. But we'll see. I'm sure FF Logs guy needs some more money, and he can make another website. We'll see. Okay, so the other part about this, one of the last kind of points that I want to make on this is that when we're talking about this world race, we're talking about a race that people are getting really excited for, and it's a one-fight race. There's one fight. There's multiple phases, but there's just one fight to go into it. Midas maybe had a little bit of interest for it. Creator Deltascape didn't really get that much attention because it was so quick. Even though this is just a one-fight race, because of the difficulty of that one fight, it's gaining more popularity than any of the races that I've seen before. Is that weird to you guys, or do you think that it makes sense perfectly?
It makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense, and then it's also a big part of it, I think, that works is it's one fight, but there's still very obvious, like steps going into the fight. There's, this group's on, the Twintania, this one's on Nail, this one's on Bahamut. It's still, one fight, but there's very obvious visual differences between different parts of the fight that people can follow along easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, the weird part about it is that you can't track it very well. You can't. And so for me, it's when I was doing the other races, I was like, okay, fight 1's down, fight 2's down, fight 3's down. Like you can clearly see kind of where people are. But with this
your spreadsheet is empty, right?
Yeah, it's just I guess it's just a blank spreadsheet. I don't know what to do. And so I was like, well, we just kind of, maybe next time I'll start putting like little information. Oh, rumor has it, Twitch chat said this. And then like I can start putting that stuff on the spreadsheet so we could figure it out. I mean, that's the only downside to tracking the race for me, in my perspective, is that like, I just don't know. I do have people come up to me and they're like, hey, so has Angered cleared the fight yet? If I hear that one more fucking time, I'm gonna flip out. Like, how am I? If you don't know right now, how am I gonna know before you? I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out.
F5 Twitter, just F5 Twitter. Yeah. When you hear a rumor, just hit F5 on.
Just keep
Twitter.
It on Anger's Twitter and just F5 it, and then you'll know exactly when.
Some JP team turned it up third on Monday.
And Facebook flooded questions about, did they kill it?
Did you could?
Fucking check yourself. It would be everywhere, you know? Like,
No, it hasn't. Trust me, you would know. You'd get 50 million responses saying yes right afterwards, I'm sure, as soon as that happens. God, man, it sucks. The tracking side of it with the one fight stuff sucks, but it's funny because it's still a lot more entertaining than it has been in the past.
we're gonna see this format more in a game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like I think I look at how they can screw up Deltascape's difficulty, even though it's supposed to be a savage, and then I look at the ultimate that they just created. It makes me think that, you know, that Deltascape is just purely for PR. Right, we have an influx of new players coming in. We don't want to stress them out too much. We want them to stay. We want them to feel that they can raid, they can do the endgame content, they can do a lot of things. So we make it easy, you know. And then suddenly they make an ultimate like that. It makes me think that, you know, one day when they stop selling this game as a new game, every single expansion, make it seems like a new game, or stop catering for people who always complain that, you know, one thing's easy. One day, if they sit down and say that, okay, this is the people that care for the game that we have, from now on, every single hardcore content, endgame content, or even mid-core content is going to have at least a certain standard of difficulty. Then we will see the game, you know, although it's kind of like getting older, lesser people coming in, but we start to see the game start to evolve. That's what I want to see. And from the difference between Deltascape and Ultimate, I can definitely feel that they can do it. It's just right now they are just...
I mean, Yoshida has
hey,
said
everybody, come on, you know, like...
That's
yeah.
exactly what Yoshida said. I think at some point he came in and said, hey, at some point this
5,
game
10
will get
years,
really
right?
old. Yeah, and then only the people who really care about the game will still be playing it. Then they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Right now, they
I
have
think
to kind
Ultimate
of
is the-
keep people coming in.
Yeah, I think Ultimate is a glimpse that they have it. They have it. They're just waiting for the, you know, one by one. Eventually, it will be one after another. How long though? I'm not sure. Right now, we are already on the 4th year already, right? And they are still selling this game like a new game.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll see. Yeah, a lot of people looking, they see it as like a new game. Exactly. It's one of the newest MMOs out. So one of the newest alive MMOs that are out right now. All right. So the other part, God, Arthars every single time. I have this thought, and I have this like thing that I'm about to say, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna listen to Arthars for a second, and it's just like gone. It's just filled with Arthars stuff inside my
you're
head.
getting old, man, like me. I have the same
There's
problem.
actually angered people in chat.
Yeah, there's a
What
lot of anger.
What
Oh,
are they doing? Stop wasting time.
wait a minute, why are they in
Yeah,
chat?
why are they chatting?
Why are they in
Have
chat?
they cleared?
Did they clear yet? Is that why they're in chat right now? Hold on, let me check my Twitter. Let me see. Do I have a Twitter message from Anger in here saying that they got the clear? Jeez. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they're just listening to it in the background so they can hear your voice, Evie.
Might be.
Yeah, exactly.
Making sure he don't leak any information, you know? They are actually monitoring Evie right now.
Jesus. Okay, maybe I'll remember that thought here in a second. I don't know. I'm okay with not remembering it for the time being here. Well, let's answer another question here. Let me pull it up. Where are you at? Questions. All right, so Tonberry here says, thoughts on locking this fight at eye level 340 until the next ultimate fight. Would be nice to keep progging on something after you clear Savage every week in 4.2.
Maybe?
Maybe I could see the merits of doing that, but I also that's like, you know, the what we were saying, it's the natural nerf. Those over time is you get the guides, and 2 you get the gear. So I think if you want to keep this fight at the same intensity as the same fight as it is right now, I think item level locking it's going to incentivize them to actually nerf the mechanics more than anything else.
Well, I mean, they could do mid-eye level sync or something, and they could just introduce that, and that would be fine too, right? Because then if people are like, oh man, I was so close to clearing it before I got that natural nerf there with gear, they can still go back there and feel a little bit better about themselves because they got the clear with the 340 gear instead of 360. So yeah, that makes sense. All right. here's another one. This one's from Hammerfly. Contains spoilers is what it says. This is agree or disagree kind of question. So with what we know through data mining and raid progression, would people agree that this fight is established A8S style? Twintania, Onslaughter, Nail, Robots, first static wall, big phase transition, Brute Justice forming. Brute Justice is Bahamut. The trio mechanics, Robot dances, Phoenix, finishing off Brute Justice, enhanced Bahamut Wing Justice, and dying and catching up to the mechanic you were on feels exactly the same. Do you guys feel like it's as relatable as they just tried to make it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah. All right.
I couldn't quite follow what they said, but yes.
Absolutely. I mean, in your own opinion right now, without even thinking about that question, do you feel like this feels kind of similar to A8S?
Yeah, you need some imagination, like some kind of creativity to say that, but it's similar. I mean, what he says completely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's way harder and way longer, but yeah, can be.
It's going to be hard to say till you know the entire fight.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
That is true as well. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Jim Link has a
Really
question
curious,
here.
man.
Oh, hold
Really
on.
curious how long more.
Okay, you go,
Fine.
Arthars. You'll go. I won't lose my thought this time. I know exactly what I'm going to say, so go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I'm really curious how long this fight is. Like right now, still no. You know, during Midas, we have glimpses like, oh yeah, Brute Justice 1 HP, and then only for the next Brute Justice to appear. So you're like, oh shit, there's one more? You know, maybe right now, even watching on stream, right? It's like, is there an end? Is it really
It's unending. It's unending.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're gonna get
I'm
Bahamut
really
to 0,
curious.
and another set
Oh
of
my
wings are gonna pop out of his back.
I'm really curious. I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing to all this, too, I mean, we could introduce content that just doesn't have an end, and you just see how difficult, like, how high of a difficulty you can get to it. You just have to recycle the fight. You have to say, all right, well, now we start from square one. How many times have they gone through this entire fight and not died? And then you have a level. I've done it 56 times and not wiped in those 56 times. That would be stupid ridiculous. All right, Jim Link here. With Ultimate, do you think the even patched patches are going to be considered side patches since the main fight is the odd numbered fight?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, there's a chance. Now you look at the rally is coming in 4.2, right? Then you think about Savage might be easy, right? You kind of start feeling like, hey, now the red patches is like you got more things to do, right? But then the odd patch is gonna have that one big one for you to spend 3 months on. So, and also like you say earlier, right? Those people that done Ultimate, whether you clear or not, if you were to go in and enjoy, go in and test yourself, go in and progress, even if you don't clear the fight, maybe you get close, maybe you get after Neo, maybe you get a little bit of Bahamut in. I still feel that now you go back to Savage, you're going to be sitting there and think, what?
Yeah.
You don't even need to clear Ultimate, and you will feel Savage. It's going to be like, just something there to fill the void.
It's there to get gear, man. It's a gear farm.
Yeah.
It's the new normal mode. We don't need normal mode anymore. We'll just do that.
Yeah, man.
Did we ever need normal mode?
Well, crafted gear has replaced normal mode basically, but yeah. That's the only reason for boring people who log on, not as much, and they don't have as much money. I don't have any of my crafters leveled. I'm poor. Normal mode's there for me, man. It gets me that little tier of gear.
Sometimes you take a game in a way that you don't understand that you're the least part of the game, and there's like millions of people that do stuff that you never did or you did once only. And this is just my way of thinking. And sometimes I realize I'm wrong. How wrong I am. Like I have a lot of friends even that still do normal mode, like even now.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I don't even do experts.
Yeah, same.
I haven't done an expert since the expansion came out. Oh, I've done a couple. Okay, I've done a couple of experts, but PvP gave me a lot of my marks or my tokens because I was doing a heavy amount of that. But like I don't know. I did experts to help other people, or just to round off a couple more that I was like, oh, I didn't get my match in. Let me get 90 tokens real quick for my gear for the week. And that was it. And then I'm not leveling up and all. I'm playing one character, one job, and I do mostly raiding at the moment. So I don't have to do a whole bunch of these things I don't want to do. So I'm okay with it. I'm just kind of a little bit more gimped because I'm a tank that doesn't use 370 crafted gear, or 320 crafted gear.
Man, I want that 370 crafted gear. Can you get some of that?
But well, you need to get good and clear ultimate first, Balana.
Oh yeah.
You haven't even logged in there, dude. Come on. Maybe your beard's ahead of you at the moment.
It probably is. Well, it usually is because it kind of comes out.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the team interaction here. I'm gonna ask some bait questions. All right. This is the bait questions. You don't have to actually give me anything for it, but I'm going to ask the bait questions. Are you ready for the poker face? Mm-hmm. You ready for the poker face? Okay. All right. Evie, can you tell me, first off, what's the lowest percentage of Bahamut that you have gotten him to?
Myself.
No, the whole team, the Anger team. What are you talking about?
We don't know.
Oh, we don't know.
Like,
okay.
The reality is they're not even speaking in in FC chat. Oh. They're on a different TS. Everything is so secret.
Perfect answer, Evie.
They don't know anything.
Perfect.
They don't even want people from the actual FC to text them. Like, they have no distraction.
No, it makes sense.
We don't know. I swear to God.
Yeah. Good. So stop asking people of the chat. Balana, how far is Elysium teams here? Hey, how far is Layla's group? That's what I hear. Layla's
group. Team Gabagoo.
Team Gabagoo.
They killed it on Monday, actually, last week. So yeah. We're just waiting to put the video out, so there's still a competition.
You gotta wait for a couple of people to clear it before you can release it.
Yeah.
Yo, did you guys see that tweet post? There was a guy that said they posted the timing. They say they clear, and then he proceeded to tweet another, and he says that, we are just waiting for the 1 second to clear before we post the video. Like, what the fuck is with that, man? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me check the sheet. I'm gonna see if anybody's put in an entry for this clear. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you guys all know if it's been cleared yet. There we go. No Savage here, right here. Oh, let me check this out. Oh, holy shit! Look at this one. Look at that! Someone just gave me this entry form right here, telling that they got the clear.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's my favorite part of the fight right there.
Yeah. That's amazing. Congratulations to Team Rick Ashley, guys, for getting the clear there. Oh, jeez. Okay, I got it. That was actually entry, by the way. That was sent in, I think the day after it was released. Someone sent that in. Everybody knew what it was, and they still clicked on it, I'm sure. Okay, so let's get into the final thoughts here. We're kind of nearing the end of the show, and I feel like we need to get these final thoughts out. And so, with this content, with this being released and everything else, do we think that they need to continue this uptrend where they're actually encouraging people to watch other people play and are actually excited to watch other people play? Because that's kind of what this is introducing. People are getting really excited to watch other people play. Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
This is also gonna motivate people to get better at the game. Like, I watch these people. I want to be like them. I want to do that stuff. I can't right now. I want to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, the community of Final Fantasy always been crying about not being able to kill stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, this can bring people to be the other way around. I can't kill stuff because of me. Because look at these people. They're doing it. So I want to do it as well. It's just like looking at, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo or LeBron James playing NBA and football. Right. And kids and boys want to be like them. And, it's like bringing an actual pro scene in an MMO.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is what this game needs because it hasn't had this in forever.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight constantly requires you to stay on your toes. That's nothing like any of the fight designs that they've had recently. Not even remotely. There's been so much downtime. And you know what? Here's the other thing that I heard. People are upset about phase transitions. And they're upset about, the trios. Because they're like, oh, well, now I can't DPS anything while the trio's happening. I don't want to do this fight. What? What? You're upset because there are actually mechanics you have to do, and that's what you have to focus on? I mean, that's kind of the point of the fights. You don't... I throw up a target dummy, and this is what you have to do? I go up on FF logs. These are the same people who brag, and they're like, I'm 100% FF logs. It's the same exact people, and they're upset that, oh, well, I have to disengage, and I lose DPS because of that. Everyone has to disengage.
Yes.
You're not losing anything. We're figuring out who's creative enough to get the most DPS possible throughout that. So guys, come on, dude, stop it.
Yeah, I feel it will help watching, because a lot of people clear Savage, right? Now, a lot of people, like I think Arya was saying it last week, a lot of people start getting up their high horse after they clear the Savage. They think that, hey, I can clear raid. Now there's an ultimate, I'm gonna do it. They start to realize that they can't, and then they start to like, how do people do this? And then they start to look at streams. Like, look at the, wait, is the JP group still going? Look at how many people they get. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. Do you think all of them are JP? I don't think so.
No.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people I'm pretty sure there's a vast majority of people that clear Savage, Turn 4, New XDev, but could not find people with the same motivation or
Arthars.
Could not clear that much.
I found my thought that you interrupted earlier. I remember it now.
Okay.
Now that we're at this point, and we're hitting the final thoughts. These are my final thoughts here. Now that we're getting to the end point here, when this gets cleared, when we're a month down the road and people have cleared this content already, are we still going to see the same increase in viewership for Final Fantasy XIV and Twitch, or will that just die away?
It will go down, definitely. It will go down, definitely. Once the hype goes down, and also once the people clear it. I mean, this is the trend we've seen, right? Mm-hmm. Like streaming these 2 years, this is the trend we've seen. Once the content comes out, but definitely this is all-time high though. It's definitely take a while to... It's gonna take a lot lesser to go down, right? Like, say Angered cleared, but that JP group might not have cleared by then. People will still watch them until Angered release a video, right? And then when Angered release a video, when Elysium release a video, people start trying themselves, and then maybe that will be the point. Maybe they feel that they don't need to watch stream to learn anymore. But I feel that there will still be a little bit of people that watch it for the entertainment. Mm-hmm. But as time goes by, before the next patch, the number will definitely go down. But right now it's high.
Well, this is the nature of MMOs. It can be helped. I mean, unless we find, like, I don't know, a super billionaire company starts an MMO and put out like a new content every 2 weeks, then you can keep the hype up all the time. Unless that happens, and it's not gonna happen.
Right.
This is the nature of MMOs. Once the patch is down, the hype goes down, the views goes down. Then the new patch is up, and boom again. So it's how it is. Like, it can be helped.
Well,
my opinion at least.
Balana, are you kind of on the same wavelength?
Yeah. People aren't watching, the weekly clears, your 17th, 18th week of clearing Deltascape. They're watching the first, live streamed of going through this new content. They're seeing things that, few people have seen. So that's what's driving up the viewership. Once you can just go over to YouTube and watch a clear of it, there's less of an incentive for a lot of people to go hop on and see the live attacks of it. It's like, oh, I can just go, see YouTube.
I'm going to say just a little bit different here. I think that we passed a plateau. We kind of hit this point, right? The viewer, like we have, like, we're down here with streaming. We're really low with streaming right now. Then the patch comes up. We're like way up here. We're way at the top. But there's a plateau somewhere here where it's actually exciting for people to do stuff that you can't do. And so I think that people are going to be kind of interested in doing that stuff because there is such a low plateau for Deltascape. You just had to do it. You just had to try. But now there's going to be content out there that people can't clear, and they might actually have fun watching people clear it or progress towards clearing it. People like their favorite streamers or like their favorite whatever, it's people they know. They're like, it's going to be kind of exciting to see these people get their first clear. It's going to be exciting to see people do the stuff that I can't do. So I feel like we actually kind of hit this point with Twitch, with this fight, that the viewership will stay up, but it's going to stay up there for people who can rate the content.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my thoughts on it. It's not going to die like it has before.
Can be.
Like, after the expansion with Stormblood, viewership plummeted. I mean, but that was normal. It just went back to, like, the normal plummeted state of Final Fantasy XIV. But I feel like we actually might have an extended, prolonged life of viewership within the community for a while.
Yes, definitely. Like, after Delta Escape, right, not only viewership go down, but even streamers find no motivation to stream. So when we don't put it out there for people to attract people to watch, right? How do we expect the viewership to come in? Except for Xeno, obviously. Xeno just can just do it on and on and on, right? But aside from Xeno, a lot of us just like, I mean, what else can I do? You know?
PUBG.
But right now so right now with Ultimate, I feel that like I don't know, like Delta Skip is just, I watch this guy, he can clear 20 times a day, you know? It gets to a point where, do I really need to, carry on watching? Unless you're part of the community, then of course you will continue supporting, right? But for Ultimate, like you say earlier, definitely it will cling on a little bit longer. And so much people wants to clear, so much people wants to watch it, so many people see the entertainment value rather than just, even I myself, I can't even, when I do Delta Escape, sometimes I'm like, do I want to stream this? Like,
it'll be over in 10 minutes. So
yeah, like, dude, streamer, we got our schedule. Will this last 1 hour? Maybe I should just fuck it, But Ultimate, even if people don't watch you, you know that you are putting out there's an option for viewer to watch, and that will contribute to viewership. But Delta Escape, no.
Yeah. So it will drop down, but I think that it's going to stay up a little bit higher than it has been before, just because there's something entertaining out there to watch in the raid scene. Because a lot of people, again, like myself included, I don't think that I will clear this before it gets naturally nerfed down a little bit. We're on the next expansion, maybe I'll get it because I'll be way over geared, 10 extra levels. But no, like, this is something that it's just fun to keep watching. Right now, of course, it's at the super high level that everyone wants to see what it looks like, and that's why those streams are getting there. But I think that it will stay up for a lot of people who can keep it up, because MMO streams can be very boring to watch.
No,
they can be. I mean, everybody says that. That's you go there for the community usually.
Yeah, because MMO always has that grindy part that is not fun to watch at all. Like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys to go through your final thoughts on everything here. You don't have to be as long-winded as I am with what I wanted to talk about. Evie, is there any other thoughts or anything else that you wanted to say here on the show today? Anything that you wanted to put out there just as a discussion point or anything?
Like, I think you covered pretty much everything. It's really hard to find something else to say. To me, at least. I don't know for the others. Balana?
Yeah, Balana?
I'm just glad we have a fight like this in the game. I'm glad they're putting some challenge back in, and I hope they continue to hit their expectations like this in the future.
Yeah. All right, Arthars. Final thoughts.
I got a feeling that how the next Ultimate we get will solely depend on how fast this will be clear, and I think that Savage will become harder. Obviously, they say that already, and I mean, let's be really honest. You can get an intern and it will still be, you can create a raid that's more difficult than Delta Escape, But I think the Ultimate difficulty might go down a little bit, but I still think and hope that it will be high level. Like, again, this is the first time we get Ultimate. We still do not know yet how long this is gonna take. Right now, it's 5 days already. It might be 10, it might be 15, 2 weeks, right? Now, that is for world first. People like me, plebes like me, might take 1.5 months, 2 months. Will that be considered too much to Square Enix? Maybe.
No.
So I think that they might the next Ultima, they might bring it down a little bit, like say instead of 15 days, become 10 days. Still challenging though. And then for people like me, instead of 1.5 months, maybe 1 month. I think it will be like that because I hope that they keep it up. But I think it really depends on how fast they clear. Right now, I can just speculate or think what it is. But I really think that we need to see how long this one takes because right now it's really unknown. I haven't even, like I said multiple times, I haven't even seen people talk about the end yet. You know, this seems like the end. Like nobody's talking about it. Everybody's just talking about this. Looks like just the beginning. You know. So right now it's very hard to decide. But as of right now, this point, I think it's brilliant. I hope, like Balana says, I hope we keep up.
Yeah.
Will we over exceed though? I'm not sure, but this level, I hope we keep up.
Well, I hope that gradual step down doesn't happen because that's exactly what happened with Alexander last expansion.
Yeah, and that was a question I made sure that I pinpointed when I had my interview with Yoshida at one time. It's like, hey guys, we got to get this going in an upward scale, down, and they did it because they thought it was just too difficult. And I was like, man, you guys hit it fine with minus. You didn't need to go lower. But here's a quick follow-up fluff question from Ralgar here in chat. What do you guys want to see for Ultimate 2.0?
Yeah.
It's hard to think, right?
Like primals, it depends, right? Right now, the Ultimate we see is Twintania, Neil, Bahamut, and Friends, right? Is the next team gonna be like Friends and Friends, or is the next team because they talk about Titan? Now,
yeah, I heard about Titan Ultimate.
Yeah. So they talk about Titan Ultimate. Titan Ultimate is Titan Ultimate, right? It's not like Titan and Friends Ultimate. Maybe 10,000 potatoes. I don't know. So will we see the next Ultimate be like Twintania, Neo, and Danas, or are we gonna see the next Ultimate as just one entity? So I'm curious. I would love to see them mix it up though. I would love to see mix it up.
What about Ozma?
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would have liked to have Ozma in a Savage content.
Yeah.
They might do an Ozma or Diablos, who knows?
Yeah.
We have a lot of bosses, but into casual content that could be interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I kind of agree, Arthars. I didn't think about that too much, but yeah, I do hope they vary it up. Like they don't do like a multiple boss fight for the next one. It's just one boss, and you have things that go along with it, but it's not like a whole bunch. I hope they don't get into an algorithm of we have to design a fight that's just pretty much similar to the last fight that we had, just with different models, right? Where we introduce all the Alexander bosses, or however they would want to do it. And I hope if they do like Alexander, that Living Liquid's in there, and Manipulator could be there too, but Living Liquid needs to be the highlight of Tier 1.
That is a nightmare. Like,
come on.
Don't remind me.
He's gonna come back at some point. I think he's gonna come back at some point.
It will.
You have to call the Pepsi challenge.
That was the first static breaker in Final Fantasy, so yeah, we're gonna see it again.
That's okay. I bring him back. Break some more statics, dude. But yeah, thank you guys for being on the show. Is it not gonna happen?
In Angered? No.
Well, not Angered, yeah. I'm not talking about Angered. I'm talking about the fake hardcore players, man.
Weak people.
Weak
groups.
Get good groups. No, guys, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been a great show to have you all on here. I think that this has been such a fun tier, or it feels like a tier, right? It's longer than a tier for sure. It's been a fun fight to watch, and I hope that it just keeps going. And maybe we'll get a clear here before Tuesday. We'll see.
Okay, wait. I want to ask again. Last week I asked this question. This week I will ask it. Of course, Balana and Evie. Maybe just your personal thought, right? Right now we're on the 5th day already. How long you think this one will last? For me, I hope it's like 7 to 10 days right now. I initially said 5 to 7. But right now, I would say 7 to 10. What do you think?
Okay, just real quick to clarify, no comment is a valid answer.
No, like personal. Like, of course,
My personal thought, knowing them, knowing the members of Angered Group 1 or whatever you want to call it, I'm pretty sure that they have the potential to kill it within 1 week. The thing is, we don't know what is what is waiting us in the last phase. So making a prediction is really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. If I knew the fight, I would have told you. But right now, I think they have the potential to do it, but I'm not sure at all. Like, yeah.
Okay. Balana?
No comment.
There you go.
Too easy.
Done. Too
What
easy.
about you, Frosty? How long you think, Frosty?
Dude, I thought it was 24 hours. I literally, like, when we had the show, I thought it was 24 hours. I was like, this is a 24-hour fight. Yeah, mechanics? Whatever. These guys are great at mechanics. Easy. Oh, how are we going to have a difficult fight? But now, I mean, at this point, I'm expecting... I can't imagine this fight's going to go much longer. I mean, from what I've seen from the other streams, I can't imagine it's going to go that much longer. Unless if I'm completely undervaluing Yoshida's urge to just piss off as many players as he can, or just try to like masochistically damage them as much as he can. All right, and so like I would say I think it's gonna be clear before Tuesday. That's my guess. It's just gonna be clear before Tuesday. If it's not clear before Tuesday, man, I am excited to see what the hell's going on with that fight and what we haven't seen.
Same. Yeah, that's what I feel. 7 to 10. If by then still not, oh my god, like I'm curious at that point. Because we talk about Midas. Midas took about 2 weeks, right? But Midas had bugs. Did Midas already introduce the cooldown thingy yet?
No,
not yet, right?
No.
So that's why this drags the clear time longer, right? But this time now quality of life is all there already, right? So
yeah.
This fight is further ahead than any other fight if you include the cooldown reset change.
Definitely, yeah.
Because the amount of attempts is way over the amount of attempts that they had within the same time span.
You remember A3S when you needed Hallowed Ground on leaving that after 2 minutes and you wiped it 30 minutes. Then you have to wait 5.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for my potion to be back up. All right, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. See you guys in 4 minutes.
No, yeah. It's exciting because I could safely declare that this is the hardest progression fight that we've had so far.
Agree.
I guess since A Realm Reborn and Savage, Super Savage, or not Super Savage, but Savage. I can't compare it as much because I didn't have a lot of experience during that time with what was going on. But I gotta say that this is definitely last couple of years, 3 years, somewhere in there. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. Again, we'll actually get towards the end of the show now. Evie, thank you so much for coming on the show. You've been a blast. I'm so glad I got you on here. I don't know why I didn't get you on before. I need to get you on more shows, dude. You're an awesome ambassador for Angered.
Yeah, just send me a message. Anything, I'll come.
All right.
Next week, man. Next week, the interview.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, the interview. Evie comes on the show. Oh, Jesus Christ. Evie, is there anything that anyone you want to shout out? To anyone out there?
Always Kakashi, my bro. I mean, everything behind Angered is Kakashi, so I'll always be thankful to that guy. Always.
Guy's amazing. Kakashi is amazing. Like every time, like when I had him on for the clear.
His mind is like, he thinks about everything. He always take care about everything. Like, how the hell can you? Whatever.
Yeah.
Kakashi.
Yeah, Kakashi, like when we had him on the show, the Angered show, and we were talking about Angered, and he talked a lot of the show. Like he had perfect responses. He was amazing to talk to. Maybe I gotta get Kakashi back on the show again at some point. We need him on here. We need to hear him talk because he also sounds wonderful to listen to. For me, I don't know. Balana, thank you so much for being my bro again, man. You're absolutely amazing. I hope that we'll have a nice one time. I'm going to come up there. I'm going to come up to where you live one time, and we're just going to get a beer. All right? You're not that far away. We can make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's only like 8-9 hour drive, so
6, but you know. But yeah, no, man. Is there any shout outs that you want to do to anybody?
Yeah. Oh, thanks for having me on again, Frosty. Always wanted to be on here.
Of course.
I want to say it was great to meet you, Evie and Arthars. Had a nice little chat today. Shout outs to Elysium and shout outs to everybody in the Gilgamesh Penal Colony, everybody who's still there.
The Gilgamesh Penal Colony. I haven't heard it called that yet. Very good, man.
The walls are still up, so Mr. Yoshida, tear down this wall.
Yeah, tear down the wall, Yoshida. We don't want to be locked in the server anymore. You can get out, you just can't get back in.
You can
Wait, I
check
thought
out
they
anytime
do,
you like.
They do the
You can never
update. I saw the Lord Stone, right? They did talk about the update. They still haven't done anything.
Nope, no difference.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Arthas, thank you so much. You're always a blast to have on. I know you were on the show just last week, and I appreciate you coming on again, dude. Any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, your shout out to the three of you, man. Thanks for having me today. Like kind of a misfit today, but really good.
When are you not a misfit?
Wow.
Come on. Sorry, go.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody right now watching this, even progging and watching this. Like, yeah, you people who is attempting it or doing Ultimate. Shout out to all of you.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. It's really great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show today. I hope you guys had a blast. I had a blast here talking with everybody.
Shout out to Yukiana.
Hey, I'm gonna say my buys. Yeah, God damn it, Arthas. Thank you everybody for watching the show. You've been absolutely amazing here. Everyone watching today and taking their eyes and ears away from the progression that's going out there. Thank you so much to Sky in chat helping collect the highlighted comments. Hope that was a lot of fun for you. Thank you very much, Karara, for being my emotional support. Thank you very much to the mods that are out there helping out. Blizzana for the artwork. Andre Kane for making the music that I use in the intro and the closing of the show. And in regards to the 5150 show, there are talks about that. I don't know. It may happen, guys. We'll see. There will be some translation stuff, but that could be something else in the future. We'll see. It all depends on how the situation lies. But don't put it in there. Just think of it as a possibility for the future. And guys, until next time, remember to be good, keep cool, and stay frosty. Okay. Wave, everybody. Bye.
Awkward wave.
Bye.
Awkward waving time.
Bye, everyone.